Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Snow Talk. Although in most cases, we are talking about storm talk as we head into the days ahead. Good evening, everybody. Meteorologist Brian Goodhit. Wow, I am really blurry. My goodness. Let me try to clean the lens off better. That help any? There we go. Finally, I'm coming into focus there. That's how I am right now. My eyes are not doing well, so that's why I'm wearing glasses at the moment. Hope you're having a good evening so far. I've got The Voice on, and I've got Home Alone. Those are my two options here in the weather office tonight. It always helps, though, to look at maps and everything when Home Alone is on, pitching that Christmas spirit, certainly. Okay, let's talk about how things are going to look in the short term, and then I'll get into the storm system for the long term. By the way, I'm filling in for Kevin here the next couple of weeks, so we got plenty of time here to talk about the storms on a daily basis as we get closer. All right, let me start you off. The radar. Here we go tonight. Nice and quiet, no problems can be found in the area. Now, as we broaden the view out, a couple of things to watch. One is this little piece of energy now moving through Ohio. That's going to head toward New York City and give those folks some headaches there for tomorrow morning. This is the piece that we're going to be watching. And notice it's not much, and it's really not forecast to be much. It's just a little bit of a ripple in the atmosphere, basically a trough that is kind of moving through areas of the Midwest right now. And this trough is going to move its way into Kentucky tomorrow. It is going to pick the wind up a little bit. It is going to produce whatever it can out of it as far as precipitation. And it is going to keep us on the chilly side. And then after that, things do improve. Here's the updated models, and I talked about this online, that I haven't really impressed with. The in-house now just updated, it looks like here, and it's coming in a little bit drier in the morning, which is good because it was kind of painting some crazy amounts of snow. And let me see what it does here down the road. Yeah, it's still trying to indicate some snow, but this is a lot calmer look than when it had a couple hours ago. It had like a broad area of just snow coming down and about a 1-inch accumulation area. And all the other models were much drier, and even by looking at what we call buffet, which is a sounding over the area, it looked pretty dry as well. So that's why I've been hesitant to say anything more than sprinkles or flurries for tomorrow, despite the model. But it looks like the model is now starting to see the reality situation is backing off now on anything snowy. So there will be some flakes flying around tomorrow. I do think that. And in some cases where you're above 37 degrees down here to the south, it's going to be raindrops is what's going to be falling on your head instead of anything frozen. But a minor ordeal, but notice it's going to be chilly. In the 30s, wind chills will be a factor. Now, as far as how much snow, I mentioned earlier, was spitting out 1-inch amounts. Now, nothing. Doesn't surprise me. Let's talk about the good news, though. That's the warm air. Now, I'm a snow lover. You guys know that. But I do like these warm spells in the middle of cold like this. They make you appreciate them, certainly. We got this warm air that's going to surge into Ohio Valley starting Thursday night and Friday. Will be the first wave of warmth, and then we'll get another wave as we get into the upcoming weekend. Now, because of that southerly wind, moisture is going to be at play across the southeast corner of the country, especially here in the Ohio Valley. But notice the cold air is still stuck just northwest where all the action is. That's important to note as we head down the road, because we're going to have an area of low pressure that is going to develop as we head into Saturday. Actually, it'll develop on Friday, but it'll be Saturday that'll make its move to the north and east, and by Saturday night and Sunday, it pretty much follows the path of the Ohio River. And the track is crucial because we're going to go from a potential for severe weather, and I would not rule out even a severe weather outbreak that could be developing southeast of the low. Heavy rain will be forming along its path, and then a changeover to snow, some of that pretty heavy, and some icing, too, that could take place. You can see the track, though, as it stands now, that's how it would keep our precip lining up here for the weekend. If the track in the European is kind of trying to follow this idea a little further to the north and west, then we'll have to bring the severe weather threat a little closer to us. That is still a possibility. And on the flip side, if the low pressure is a little more curved here to the east, we would have to bring the snow band. I don't know if it would go all the way to Louisville, but that snow band would encompass a little more of Indiana and West Kentucky and Southern Illinois, certainly, if that track to the east were to take place. So this track of this low is key on the upcoming weekend, and how strong it is. If it's a really powerful low, it could really wrap that snow in pretty good here on the back side of that as it pulls away. But right now, it's probably going to get a calm ahead of snowfall, and usually when we see low pressures like this that track in this fashion, they get a calm ahead of snow, but that calm ahead kind of just stays north of us, kind of grazes on to the north and east, and we get nothing after the rain leaves, and that is certainly the way it's shaping up right now to be. So our main issue right now, for what I can tell, is going to be the risk for severe weather and the risk for heavy rain. I'm not worried yet about this part of the forecast because it just doesn't seem overly likely to happen at this point based on the pattern we're going to have right before it arrives, which is a warm pattern. All right, so having said that, let's talk about the rainfall amounts. And again, this is based on I believe it was the GFS that I loaded up here, and it's the main track is right in this area, so the heaviest rain is going to fall on the main track. This would still be heavy rain, certainly to the south and east, but this also would mean the chance for some severe weather here in our southeast counties. But you can see a couple of inches of rain, if not more, is possible out of this event. Okay, as we head down the road here, I'm going to show you the wind fields. This is vorticity here, and this is where a tremendous amount of flow is going to come in ahead of this front. And this is where you're going to see your best lifting taking place, your heavy rain, and again, the potential for some severe weather. There is a lot of wind. It's not showing this on here, but there is a lot of wind aloft following this boundary. So if we get any instability at all, and that is a possibility this time of year, you do not need much, maybe 300 units. Right now the models are forecasting about 400. All you need is about 300, and you can get some damaging winds in the area. And that is a possibility late Saturday into Sunday. On the frozen side of things, just to show you in case you're wondering, again, the colder area, it's keeping the snow band, the GFS, well to our west, and in the European model, not a whole lot of difference there as we head into the weekend. It kind of keeps, again, a band more towards Chicagoland in due time. So, overall, the big story is going to be the warmth and that heavy rain potentially as we into the weekend. Severe weather, I would not rule that out. The wind fields are pretty strong here. I just got to figure out where that low is going to track because it's going to be mainly just south and east of that low is going to be your best shot to see some severe weather out of the system. But right now, it may track just right along the Ohio River enough to keep us out of that severe threat, but keep us in a flooding threat potentially. A lot of talk about Christmas week. It's, the way these things turn out, when you get a big storm like this that moves on by, it takes a little while for the atmosphere, other than Clipper systems, it takes a while for the atmosphere to regroup itself again and develop a new storm. And I don't think we're going to have enough time to do that to make it to Christmas Day. So the only way we're going to get anything frozen would be a weak little impulse or a Clipper that comes in behind this bigger low. And that could even skip us altogether and stay in the Great Lakes. So it's not a sure thing on White Christmas. In fact, our average every year is 10% chance for a White Christmas, and that's probably going to hold true right now until we get a better handle on how things are going to progress. I know we were talking about cold air coming our way and a chance for snow, but this big storm this weekend is really still in the show and still in a lot of thunder, pardon the pun, out of the atmosphere, and that has shaken the weather pattern up completely for Christmas week now. We also have to watch potential for the first week of January. Things look a little interesting there, too. Another low pressure that could very well take a similar path of the one that we're seeing this weekend, could do it again New Year's weekend. And, it would be more of a warmer scenario. And so winter kind of may take a little bit of a break here from the snow and ice. But that's okay because winter does not officially begin until Saturday. So we're not even there yet. But we've already had a good little taste of it so far to get all the snow lovers and all the Bots fans all excited. But we got a long way to go before we say there's going to be no more snow the rest of the season. We're already doing well above average. Okay, that's it for now. I'll have much more on the radars and latest timing for tomorrow and see if there's any changes. I doubt there will be for tomorrow, though, and talk more about the weekend coming up tonight at 11 o'clock after this scene-off. Have a good one.